Hi everyone. So I am finally done, I think, I hope, with the system. And this is basically just like a little overview. Now, I was considering adding text to speech, but I don't really think it's that necessary. Maybe I might do so another time, but it's not really necessary for the purposes of this entire project and research. So the whole idea is to have an intelligent second brain. So we have a platform like Obsidian, which I actively use. I use it to journal and I use it as my personal knowledge base. So whenever I learn something that I feel like I would need later on in the future, I put it into Obsidian and I can just go back and refer to it later, right? So that's my note-taking application. So I work digitally. Almost everything is digital. I don't write my notes on paper. I do everything digitally, right? So it just makes sense that I'd be using Obsidian and all that, right? Okay, so this is what it looks like. LiveOS Brain. I know I might change the name. I'm not sure, but yeah, this is what it looks like right now. So we have the chat interface, right? Good afternoon. What are my recent notes showing my tasks, summarize my notes for concepts am I learning. We have the notes interface, which basically just shows you a list of your notes and shows you the ingested notes, shows you the drafts. So the difference between the ingested and the draft is create notes. So this note right here is a draft. So if I go to drafts, I should see it there. It's not being ingested, right? But it will show it all. So the difference between the drafts and the ingested is the ingested has been processed by the system and then put into the brain of the system, right? To be able to for the system to be able to reference it in answering questions you ask it. So when you are writing notes, you can attach a file, maybe a PDF. So for instance, over here, I put in my CV. You can record in case you don't want to type, you just want to talk and like say something, right? You could record. And then you can also so you can either preview your notes or you can edit your notes. So it's markdown rendered. So let's see. Okay, let me open this. So there's what the note will look like. This one I didn't use any markdown. Yeah, I didn't use any markdown. Oh, actually, but I think I need to fix. Yeah, so in the edits, you notice I have line breaks, right? But in the preview, the line breaks don't show. So I think I'd have to edit that to make that. I'd have to fix that. Anyway, delete. So we have the graph view. So this is the 2D graph view, which I don't really like personally, but it's still there, right? In case, it's there for whoever would like to use, right? So we have the 2D graph view. This is the key, right? And then we have the 3D graph view. So the 3D graph view is actually very, should I say, resource intensive. So it will take some time to load. And even right now, you notice that my mouse pointer has basically frozen in place. But if I send it to the top, it's there, but it's frozen on the screen. So we're gonna have to wait for it to load. It will take some time to load. I don't know how long it's gonna take. I might have to do some I have to make some fixes here, but it's taking long mainly because you can see here 3,433 nodes, 5,369 connections. And it's taking long because mainly because of the way I've implemented it, right? But that's what it looks like. I'll show you more when it's downloading. I don't know. It will take some time. When the mouse becomes okay, the mouse has stabilized. Okay, cool. So if I zoom in, I'm basically moving in 3D space and I'm seeing my notes in 3D space, right? And I really, 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 really love this. It is so cool. It's so cool. It's so cool to me that I can do this. So I can also rotate, right? I can rotate the view and I can also pan. So this is me panning. So yeah, that's it. And oh, honestly, I really love this view so much. It's so pleasant to look at. And the way you can just traverse through it, you can just go in, come out, right? It's so cool. So this is, should I say, about 2 years worth of notes for me. Um, I didn't write every single day for 2 years straight, but I think I had about 380 something notes in total, right? So that's basically like within 2 years I was able to write for, so let's just say I wrote about every 2 days, right? Because there are 365 days in a year and it's 2 years, so it's yeah, 380, yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's it. There's the graph view, which I really like. So, where's the code? So there's the code, right? This is the config.py. You notice that like there's a configuration. We're using local Olama. So you notice that with the models that I used actually, I tried to make sure that they were all the the they gave great quality but we're still resource friendly, right? So there are settings for cloud models if you would like to use cloud models, but this is the main hurdle we're trying to overcome was making everything local, right? Because if we're working with journals, especially, that's your personal information. You wouldn't really want to have that information just out there in the world, sending it to various APIs and all that. So every single thing in this system is local. All right. So there's the code. We have the README. It's a very comprehensive README. um, so I started out by using Google Anti-Gravity, and then I switched to VS Code, GitHub Copilot. Anti-Gravity is cool, but it's I think it's best for the planning stage. I really like the way they implemented their planning stage, but sometimes it's very inefficient for certain tasks. So I actually use Copilot. Copilot seems to be the best coding assistant I've used so far. Obviously, some people use Cursor and some other things, but I think I tried Cursor once and I didn't like it. But that was, I think, in the early days, right? I don't know how it works now. I might try it again. Some people use Claude Code, Gemini, CLI. I mean, there are so many options out there. But so far for me, what works is GitHub Copilot. So yeah, the models I usually use are Gemini 3 Pro, Claude Sonnet 4.5. I did some research and saw that GPT 5.2 is also quite good and Opus 4.5. Opus 4.5 is 3x, right? A 3x rate. So basically, if you use this, you are going to be consuming your monthly allowance rather quickly. And then we have the free ones here, right? And Grok Code Fast One is actually also supposed to be very good. I've just not tried using it yet, but that's something you could try out for yourselves. Anyway, there's the system. Everything is in a GitHub repository, which I'll be making public quite soon. So yeah, anyone at all can just go and modify if you want to, or just use it the way it is out of the box, right? The purpose is for it to be your own personal knowledge system, your own personal second brain. Um, so basically, like a living Obsidian, right? I know in Obsidian, there are actually various integrations that try to um, utilize LLMs, utilize AI within the nodes, right? There are various community plugins that you could install, but none of them worked the way I wanted them to. They were all very poor at actually synthesizing the information, right? So I think that was when I first got the idea for this system. And then I decided to turn it into a research project. So I should be releasing a paper for the entire implementation, basically the problem I was trying to solve, the findings I've come across and all that. I will be needing a few people to test the system out. So yeah, if you'd be interested in testing, you can just reach out to me, and you could be one of the first few people to test the system out. The models themselves are not that big, so I think the largest model is the Gemma 3 4B. I think it's about 3.3 gigabytes or so. But we also have Florence. We're also using Florence too for images. That's about maybe 2 point something gig. No, that's about 1 point something gig. I think it's Quen 3, the Quen 3 ranker. That's how big is that one? Quen 3. That's the one that's about 2.2 gigabytes. Then we have Whisper Large V3 Turbo, and that one is about 1 point something gigabytes, right? So let's say in total, I mean, okay, so we are also using Queen 3 I think it's 0.6B, which is from Olama, which is something megabytes, about 300 megabytes. We're also using, what else are we using? Paddle OCR for file reading, and that one is about uh it's also in megabytes, about 300-ish megabytes. Olama list. Oh, 900. Yeah, okay. So the Quen 3 is 600 megabytes and the Paddle is 900 megabytes, so about a gig. So that's a total of about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's about a total of 10 gigabytes. Wow, that is not small. Actually, depending on it depends on you, right? If I mean the size is relative, but in general, I don't think I'd say that's small. 10 gigabytes is a lot of space, right? Um, I mean, the whole purpose of this is to make it accessible to everyone, local first. And I think for the most part, we've been able to achieve that to a large extent. I think right now the only things are the model sizes. So yeah, I don't think I'll try optimizing it anymore from here because I think where it's gotten to is quite good enough already. Like I said, I'll be making it open source so everyone can test it out for themselves and see whether they can um whether they can optimize it any more than it's already been optimized. And you can use it for your own personal you can use it for your own use case. Yeah. I really love the graph view. Oh my god, I really, really love this. I really love the graph view. It's so beautiful, don't you think?